The moment has arrived.
I pushed the button. It's going to work.
This is going to be scary good, man.
I'm sorry?
We're killing it. It's Maddie Levine with my good friend David Auken. Welcome to the Fight Banana Show.
The ruthless one, Elle Dawson.
Hey, guys.
Our girl, Gillian, the Savage Robertson.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Welcome to the Fight Banana Show. 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Fight Bananas.
Is it Tuesday already?
It's my favorite day of the week, Miss Maddie Levine. How are you, friend?
I'm doing great, Dave Van Auken.
Dude, I
Welcome
missed you
back.
last week. I missed you.
I know.
I missed you.
I had such FOMO last week not being here, and now our third co-host, Elle Dawson, is having a little. I forget what she said she was doing, but she's doing something. I know she's doing something.
Yeah.
So she can't join us today, but she is sorely missed. I almost made like a little sticky note and like tried to draw her on it so I could like hold it up and be like, no, she's here. It's all good.
We love us. It's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Elle. We're gonna miss her today, but we do have an incredible lineup for you today.
We do. Stacked, Maddie.
It's
Stacked.
seriously stacked. I'm so excited. Obviously, we kick things off as usual, but Gerald Meerschaert is joining us. He had a huge weekend, had an incredible performance, so I'm really excited to ask him a couple of questions. A good friend of the show, Impa Kasanganay, is going to be joining us as well.
2:30 Eastern. 2:30. So
2:30, perfect. And then a new face to the pod, Chris Mixan. He's fighting for Brendan Allen's league, and we're gonna learn a little bit more about that. And see
someone broke some Brendan Allen news this week about Marvin Vettori not fighting. I don't know who. Someone broke that news.
It's whatever. NVD. I'm kind of a little butthurt he didn't want to come on and talk about it, but that's fine. That's fine.
He was maybe going to. I was supposed to reach out to him today, but Maddie, we're stacked. We got 4 people. I was like, can we handle a fifth? Dude, we almost had 2 more fight people from the show. Brian Battle wanted to come through. Mike Beast Boy Davis wanted to come through. We're going to try to get him on next week. We're stacked. We got 4 guests on this week.
I love it. Yes. So thank you as always for joining us on the Fight Bananas Facebook page and YouTube page. We love talking to you each and every week, and we never seem to run out of shit to talk about. It's the best. Today's a very special day, Dave. I don't know if you know this, but we're basically turning a corner for 2024. It is the first day of spring. Let's fucking go. I'm so excited. Happy first day of spring. Technically, it starts at 11 p.m., but we're going to just kind of, we're just going to start right now. We're going to start right now.
Now.
Right now. I love it. I should have worn like something way more colorful, but
oh, look at this. I'm like, this is very Eastery spring shirt right now.
Spring is in the air, baby. That means summer's right around the corner. How's that beach bod? You feeling all right?
So it's funny you say that. That's funny. You look at you just transition right into the conversation. So my beautiful wife just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. A little surprise party. We made it happen. So I'm turning 40 as well. Later on in the summer at a distant time. Dude, everything I needs to stop because the show, we have Maddie's dad.
Dad's here. Hey, Dad.
The show will always stop for Maddie's dad. Always stop. Much love, Mr. Joseph. Much love. So I'm turning 40 later on this year. So I'm like, just want to get a little time. The summer, dude, and the kids love the beach. They love pools. We have a lot of friends. Pools, summer. We live in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, you live in freaking Florida.
The shirt's coming off. The shirt's coming off soon, So I'm like, okay. Thank you, Miss Maddie. So I'm like, I gotta change a little bit, dude. I eat like an asshole. I eat horrible all the time.
You barely eat. It's so crazy.
But what I do eat, I eat bad.
Not good. Yeah, it's not good.
It's true. I skip meals all the time. Like I can go 10 hours without eating. It's part of my thing.
Wild.
I don't know. Old as hell, Dave. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, sir. We'll see you tomorrow night, Jeezy. So I'm like, I gotta try to do something better. So Susie orders all the food for the house. I'm like, darling, can you order some grilled chicken for me? Some grilled chicken. I want to make grilled chicken and I'll eat that for lunch. And I think that's healthy. I talk to fighters all the time. What do you eat at the end? Some chicken, some grilled chicken, a veggie, that kind of thing. So I'm like, dude, let me do grilled chicken. But today, and I wanted to really talk to your husband about this because he's like
fitness freak.
Oh yeah, he looks like Captain America. The man, he walked around my house with no shirt on. I'm like, God dang it, Ross. Like, well, the man is he's got it going on.
He's out
right?
of
That's
pocket.
what the kids on the street might say. He's got it right. So But when I cooked this grilled chicken today, literally right before the show, like I'm a sauce guy though. I put so much sauce on it. I want to know, is it still healthy, guys? I put on Pete's hot sauce,
Okay.
little salt, a little pepper, and a little butter. Is that still healthy? Am I on the right page? You're a fighter.
It's healthy-ish.
Okay.
I think where people go wrong when they start trying to make changes for themselves is they feel like it has to be like black and white. Like, oh, I was, eating like shit, so now I have to eat clean. Everything has to be perfect. But in reality, that's just not attainable. And for some
Right.
you who's like just starting out, I'm just trying to make some like adjustments.
Yeah.
I think that's a great adjustment
Okay.
because you're going from Chick-fil-A and cheeseburgers and chicken wings.
Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell to grilled chicken. I'm winning,
grilled
right?
chicken. Yeah. So I think it's totally fine. As your journey continues, maybe we take away the butter. But for now,
No butter?
no butter. Where's the butter coming into play? Where are you putting the butter?
You put the butter on the pan
Nah,
to get
dude.
it like seasoned pan and taste beautiful on chicken. No,
Yeah, dude. Nah, you got to
Michael,
mix that butter.
like, what is Michael trying to do here?
But no, I think it's a great start.
Okay.
I think it's a
It's a
great
start.
start.
Okay.
It's so you're doing that. I'm working with a I'm gonna call her a lifestyle nutritionist. She's helping me like make good decisions, but like what's the word? Something that's attainable, something that I can actually do for my life. Like it is like a lifestyle change, if you will.
Okay.
And her name's Elisa, Beyond the Weights Nutrition. Look them up. They're the shit.
Shout out.
I spent years and years and years weight cutting. And when I stopped fighting, I gained a bunch of weight. And now my relationship with food is trash. So she's basically teaching me that food is not my enemy. And
That's true.
she's helping me eat enough food because what people do a lot is undereat. Like Dave, you undereat.
Yeah.
So then when you do eat, you store it as fat.
Yes.
So it's like I undereat all the time, and the amount of food that the human body needs is fucking wild. Like I cannot eat the amount of food I'm supposed to be eating. So shout out to
Can
Elisa.
you get all this great knowledge from Elisa and then give it to me for free? We'll talk off of it.
Hilarious.
All right.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm just playing, Elisa. We gave you a shout out on the show.
Yeah, for real. Who's our first guest today?
Chris Mixan's coming on in 7 minutes.
Love it. Before we get to that, let's look at the UFC Vegas over the weekend. Excellent card, I thought. It moved very well.
So good.
The co-main event was such a fucking bummer.
I know. We love Brian Battle here on Fight Bananas. We love Brian Battle. I've talked to that man numerous of times, live and in person and on the show. Dude, he was looking so good during that fight. But
I know.
Okay, so here's I have a whole here. Can we do this for 5 minutes before Chris comes on?
Do it.
Okay. And you've told me, and I have an analogy, of course, with everything. You told me the story how you and Ross met, like your first date or whatever, right? I have heard that story from you. In the first 30 seconds or the first minute of that story, did you know that you were going to marry this man? Like you were going to spend the rest of your life with this man? Like you don't have to make that humongous life-changing choice so quick. You can kind of ease into a life-changing choice. So my point is, why does the ref come in so quick and ask these, hey, can you see right now 30 seconds? He has 5 minutes. Why doesn't Lusa just sit there at the cage? Give me a minute. Let me just breathe. Okay, the ref comes in a minute later. Let me get you a wipe. Let's wipe your eye down. Why do they make this so hard and so quick?
I think, you make a good point, but I think to that point, I'm trying to remember. I think it was the doctor that was asking him if he could see.
Yeah, the doctor. Okay. That doctor, one, shouldn't have asked Lusa if he can see, and two, maybe shouldn't even be in there yet. Just give him time. Let him kind of.
Well, I think, honestly, I think it was just poor timing on everybody's part because, first of all, like the fighter is dealing with an eye poke. So he's trying to compose himself. And if I get poked in the eye, like one of the first things I'm going to say is, oh God, I can't see, like knee jerk reaction,
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I get your point of like waiting a second, but it was
Yeah.
almost like the guy didn't understand that he had 5 minutes. There was like this weird miscommunication where it's like, did he not realize that, bro, like you have 5 minutes to recover, which
Right.
kind of like supports this idea that Brian Battle had of like
Yeah.
he's trying to get out, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if you've ever been poked in the eye before, you know it's terrible. Like it is not an
Oh,
enjoyable experience.
it's
But
horrific. It's
it's
horrific.
horrific. But
Yeah.
to that point, it's like, could you have recovered in 5 minutes? Because it looked like you recovered after the thing was all said and done and you're talking shit to each other. So
Dude, okay, so that's my point. It was so funny. I saw it on another site. I'm sorry I'm not giving you credit. It was like a Twitter account. It was literally 4 minutes and 8 seconds when they started beefing in the middle of the octagon. That's what I mean. Like, no one talked to Lusa. Let
wow.
Lusa just sit there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No one effing talked to him. Then a doctor come in. Let me just wipe your eye. Let me just wipe it.
Yeah.
Let me take care of you, baby. Let me just wipe you. And then walk away from him.
Yeah.
Now 4 minutes. Now it's like, hey, you got a minute left. Where are we at? You got to make some
Because
real choices here.
I think
What
once
are you
you
feeling?
say I think once you say I can't see,
Yeah,
the
it's
doctor
over.
has
They
no
gotta stop it.
choice. He has
Yeah.
no choice but to be like,
Yeah.
all right, you're done. So
It was
yeah,
like-
shame on the doctor for asking it so quickly.
Right.
And did the ref say, "Hey man, you got 5 minutes"? I think he did. I don't know though. I don't remember
Yeah,
that part.
I don't know. It was in the heat of the moment. I'm not sure. And sometimes even
Yeah.
the camera isn't on. They show the replays of
Yeah.
battle. And it
Yeah.
stinks because it is an eye poke. It's accidental. You know, he didn't mean to. When you're winning the fight, and here's another thing, too. Another question. Chris Mixon's coming on in 2-3 minutes. Brian Battle was definitely winning. He won the first round, all 3 judges, and was winning the round. I know it was early in round 2, and I know there's got to be a fine line maybe halfway through the fight. If they make it through halfway through the fight, I know this sounds horrible. Should we just say, hey, Brian Battle was winning the first round and was winning the second fight? He gets the W. I'm sorry, it's accidental.
Yeah.
He's moving forward.
I think that is a rule. I've definitely heard that rule be active in some leagues, but I guess it's not in the UFC. But I've definitely heard that be a thing in other leagues. So maybe the eye poking thing, that's where it gets a little sketchy because, you know, like you never really know where the fight would have gone. But at the end of the day, it's like, oh God. But we have so much more to talk about that.
Yeah.
We can save it. This cat is driving me fucking crazy.
Hey, it's okay. Talking about a cat. Let's talk about dude, someone that I saw his amateur fight in Daytona Beach, Florida at a hotel. True story, it's happened. I seen him at the Ocean Center in Daytona. I seen him at the PFL Challenger Series in Orlando. Been following his career. I'm a huge fan of not even the fighter, of the man. Let's welcome onto the show. We've had him on before, but the first time here on the Fight Banana Show live. Welcome Chris Mixan onto the broadcast. Chris, what's up, brother?
What's up, Dave?
Long time, dude. Long time.
Yeah, dude. It's been a minute. Too long.
Yeah. Dude, one time, Maddie. Oh, Maddie, Chris, Maddie. There you go.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
one
you.
time we had a podcast. Chris, myself, and John Rafford, who was on Ben and Bananas this past Wednesday night, was awesome, by the way. One time we had like a Joe Rogan type of podcast. Chris, do you remember? We went on for like 3 hours. It was like 2:30 in the morning. We were talking about like Ireland. Like, I don't even know what the topics were. It was amazing. Good time.
Yeah, man. We were just chopping it up, dude.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you get a bunch of friends doing shit, you know?
I love it.
Love it. All right, well, let's talk about some business, my man. I think March 29th, main eventing Brendan Allen's card once again, All In Combat. Main eventing Louisiana, I believe. Tell us about it. How did this come to be? What are you trying to prove? If you win this fight going forward, what's kind of the game plan going forward, my man?
Yeah, so first how it came about. I headlined, I think, their third show, second or third show last May.
What happened during that fight?
I knocked the guy out in 15 seconds. Yep.
Hey.
Wow.
Yep. But yeah, and then I had fight fall through in August. And then Hollis, the promoter for the show, hit me up again and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you back." And I was like, "For sure, man." And then they matched me up with the guy Tristan Vines, and it was good because we got matched up really, really early in the year. But it's one of the few times in my career, I'd say, a few times in general in MMA that it's held through. Like we've been matched up for like 3 months now, which
Wow.
that like never happens.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
Yeah. No injuries and everything, so blessed. But yeah, so I'm just trying to prove that I'm at the upper echelon of MMA fighters, especially, you know, in guys like me, we have to prove that in the regional scene. So we can't be selective. We can't be like, oh, you know, I don't want to fight this guy because he wrestles, or I don't want to fight this guy because he's got power or whatever. We got to just go out and represent, and that is 100% what I plan on doing.
One more for me, and then Maddie, jump with it. My question, Chris, like, so is your game plan, if this fight course goes great, March 29th, UFC, you know, all this stuff, All In Combat with the Brendan Allen, are you trying to move into a bigger promotion in the summer, in the fall? Is that kind of the goal for yourself in 2024? Is like, hey, I want to be signed by a top 1 or 2 organizations, multiple fight deal. Let's kind of get this rolling. Like, I've put in my time. I put it in.
Yeah, of course that's the goal, but I have a realization that I've been extremely inactive as a professional, you know, like once or twice a year at most. And sometimes I'd have to be dabbling in different sports to keep that up. But I no longer have any looming situations. So now I could just kind of rack them up as they come. So, you know, Lord willing, I'm healthy and everything. I'd love to have a turnaround in May, you know, just get through this one, turn around a couple months, wherever that may be, and just rack them up to where it's not. So I don't feel like I'm at the table begging, you know, oh, I want to get Contender Series, or oh, I want to get back PFL Challenger Series, or back in the PFL, or on an undercard. I want to make it to where I'm undeniable, you know, like I want to get in there. I want to just prove that I'm better than these guys, and I deserve to be in there.
How would you describe your fighting style?
Well, I'm definitely boxing heavy, but as you know from speaking to John Radford last week, he has a very strong Taekwondo background that bled into my style a lot, within my footwork and my kicks. But I actually got started in combat sports as a wrestler. I started wrestling in middle school. So
so
yeah,
it's kind of fascinating that you
I love
consider
that.
yourself a boxer. So when you made that shift into MMA, was it just something where you were like, okay, I really need to focus on this area to kind of catch up with my wrestling? Is that what happened?
Not necessarily, because I think I came, like, when I was at the very beginning of my amateur career, I feel like every fighter has to decide what kind of fighter they want to be. Like, do you want to be a guy who's wrestling people, or do you want to be a jiu-jitsu guy, or, you know, what are you going to specialize in? And I came up during like the height of Conor McGregor, so I just wanted to be knocking people out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's so fair.
Yeah, and I just roll with it. You know, it hasn't broke yet, so.
That's awesome. I mean, Connor still has one of my most favorite knockouts in history with who is it? Jose Aldo.
Yeah, like, who's back? Jose Aldo's back. He's fighting in Brazil.
Don't even get me started on that yet. Don't even get me started. I have way too much to say about that nonsense.
We have a 2-hour live show, Chris. You know, I can't give all the, I can't give you Christmas on 15 minutes of the show. I'm sorry.
I do want to talk a little bit more about Brendan Allen, though. Have you fought for his promotion before? Forgive me.
Yeah,
I fought last night.
Okay, so I'm dying to know what he's like as a promoter outside of being a fighter. Is he the same? Is he different? What's it like working for a guy like him?
One thing I'm very appreciative in that, and going forward, I definitely am trying, like, if I could find like regional promotions that are actually run by fighters, that's the way to, because there's so much more understanding, you know, like they don't make you sit around at weigh-ins and you know, do all these shenanigans that, you know, it's a regional show. You don't really need to be doing all this pageantry, you know, just weigh in, and people are there for the fights. They're not there for the, you know, the media stuff on a regional show. Right. So yeah, so I'm definitely blessed for that. And he seemed, you know, I'm not going to pretend like, you know, we're great friends or anything. I've met him. He's cool. And I met a lot of his people, and everyone there was super nice and super accommodating. And, you know, I got nothing but good things to say about him. You met Tuco, Chris, there? I may have. He's the man, dude. He does. I think him and Brendan does the commentating. Tuco's been like one fight away from the UFC, kind of like yourself, been on Fury and stuff of that nature. Guy's a stud. Like, if you met Tuco, you will know you've met Tuco. He's got a beard, tall. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Yeah. Now the main dude I clicked up with is Hollis, who was their matchmaker and one of their promoters, and he's super cool too. Nice. I love that. Please tell me, okay, the next thing I definitely want to hear, I'm a huge fan of Chris Mixan. Love me some Chris Mixan. Tell me about Evolution. Tell me about the move out there to Colorado. Dude, I saw
I love this, Chris. You're gonna love this story. One of my friends, who's not even a fight fan, just one of my friends, he goes, "Hey," he sends me a picture. He's like, "Is that Chris Mixan?" I go, "Let me see," and it's Justin Gaethje's Instagram, and Justin Gaethje looks like a god, and then right next to him is my boy Chris Mixan. I'm like, come on now, the biggest fight, UFC 300, right next to Chris Mixan. Chris, tell me about Gaethje. Tell me about Elevation.
Elevation's awesome. I made the move out here in December. But I had previously done a lot of trips out here just because I have family in the area. My sister lives here. So it was just kind of like, it was super convenient. And also, it's a super high level gym, great coaches, great training partners, all that stuff. And there's also a really good gym culture that I like. So instead of doing, four times a year making trips out there, I was like, why not switch it up? Why not move out here and then do trips back to Florida, hang out with good old John Radford, and we'll, chop it up as always. But so I decided to make that move. And it's been nothing but great, honestly. Like just the level of competition on like a daily basis with every session. And as far as Gaethje, he's in the gym a lot, obviously, like for the sparring and everything. And I've been getting a lot of good rounds with him, and I'm very thankful for that. And this past Friday, which is the aforementioned picture, they invited me and a few other fighters out to the Onyx like facility, like their private facility. Yeah, that's Trevor Whitman's baby. And oh man, dude, that place is crazy looking, dude. It's so cool, especially just the atmosphere. Like you walk in the building and you just feel like a champion. Like there's the UFC belts on the walls, and photos and all these things. And then they had a full 30-foot cage.
Wow.
All these Onyx bags and everything, which everything was super cool. And
what's the code to get in? What's the code?
Good old fashioned lock and key, man.
Yeah, nobody can mess with that. That's a good idea.
It's not 1, 2, 3, 4 on the pad.
I wish I'd lived there. But and then
awesome.
And then I knew in his recent road to UFC 300 episodes, I was in a couple of his episodes, a couple snapshots. Which one thing I thought was kind of funny is he's like Gaethje is known for having NCAA Division I wrestling and never using it. And I think in the most recent episode 3, the one snapshot that I'm in of the episode of our rounds is him holding me against the fence on a double.
But you know what? You made it. Like, you're in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude, imagine if Justin Gaethje won fight, and this could be the fight. Just imagine if he goes, screw striking. I don't want to do any of that. What if he just wrestled for 25 straight minutes? I would love to know, one, honestly, what would happen, and two, what would the crowd think? Because when the crowd sees Justin Gaethje on the card, especially at UFC 300 against Max Holloway, we all know what's going to happen. This is the fight, probably the best fight in the card. This is one of the highlight fights.
I could see it getting booed.
Probably would. MMA fans are horrible usually.
They kind of are.
Yeah. And I feel like there's an expectation set because it's the BMF title, and he's Justin Gaethje and he's Max Holloway.
Right.
But man, I think Holloway's too small, man. I think it's gonna hurt because I've been hit by some of Gaethje's shots, and I'm a 70-pounder right now.
Yeah.
You don't want them problems, man. That shit hurts.
God, I can't believe that's so valuable that you are rubbing elbows with people like Justin Gaethje.
Literally.
I mean, that is just the coolest thing that you get to do. And how do you think that's elevated you with that experience?
Pun intended.
Oh, yeah. It's invaluable. It's really invaluable experience. It's like playing with playing football or basketball or baseball with the highest level athletes.
Seriously.
It's got to rub off to an extent, but also I'm not treating it as a privilege, as in I'm not going there and being like, oh, yes, sir, I'll do whatever you guys need. I still have to maintain the fact that I'm pursuing my own career, and I have to put the fan part of me aside, and especially for coming up, a week and a half out from my fight, where I have to be selfish now. I can't be, bending over backwards for other people, even if it's freaking, one of the best in the world. I gotta, take care of myself first.
3 last things for you. I know you got to get going, Chris. I know you got to go train and do that stuff. Like I said, you're 12 days out of fighting. 3 kind of fun things. Did I hear right? Is your cornerman for this fight coming up? Isn't it Corey Sanhagen's corner? Am I right on that?
Carrington Banks. Yeah, Carrington
Okay.
Banks and John Radford are gonna be my corner.
Love that.
Yeah.
2. So you said 170. I know you flirted with the idea of 155, 170. You went back and forth. Where are you at on that? Are you a 170 going forward? Do you want to try to make that weight cut again? Where are you at?
Yeah, I need to be at 55. I need to get down there. Yep. It's just a matter of discipline and just being smarter about it. That's pretty much what happened. Was I made all the right decisions, and then a couple blunders in the last few days, and it just completely fucked my whole process up, and obviously it ended up being a serious health issue. So
Right.
Yeah, but I definitely see my future. I mean, I'd love a 65 or 60 weight class. I'm
Yeah.
one of those guys.
That'd be ideal.
It might happen.
I mean, because I'm walking around at like 85, when I'm just chilling. Like it's not even so 70 is not a hard cut for me,
Right.
but 55 is a super hard cut. So it's like,
Yeah.
you got to find that middle ground. So I just need to be more consistent and just walk around lighter. And then pretty much my philosophy behind it right now is for regional shows and whatnot, 170.
Yeah.
But for the big shows, 55.
Last thing for you, I believe maybe 5 years ago, Orlando, the OLE, you are still an amateur fighter. I go, Chris, if you win this fight, especially if you do what you usually do, I will give you $100. 45 seconds into the fight, Chris Mixan knocks the guy out. It was absolute bam, boom, boom, incredible. Chris Mixan gets on top of the cage like he's Conor McGregor. I give you $100. Have you spent that $100 yet, or do you still have it?
Yeah, bro. Colorado's expensive, man.
You probably spent it that night on a round of shots. Come on.
There we go.
Oh no, I don't drink like that,
All right.
But yeah, but no,
Incredible.
yeah, it's expensive as fuck out here. So
Incredible. Chris, man, I know you got to run. Wish you nothing but the luck. Best of luck and skill and everything. Like I said, not even you as a fighter. Appreciate you. Huge fan of you as just a man, Chris Mixan. Nothing but love, man. Talk to you soon. All right, brother?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Later, Chris. Wow. I love some Chris Mixan. Love Chris Mixan, dude. Good guy, right? You like him, man?
Yeah,
Dude.
for sure. It's so funny. Like everybody that came up in the game, like around that Conor McGregor era,
Yeah.
they all say it like, "Oh, I worked on my boxing, my striking. I just wanted to knock people out." But like, can you blame them? You can't.
You can't. You grow up in that era, and like, dude, Conor was bigger than life. He's still bigger than life now. We might even talk about him later in the show. I guess he's really unhappy with the UFC.
Yeah.
But like, he was just must-see TV, what he was doing, and then his footwork. And it's funny, Chris does have a lot of that. He has a little bit of that kind of hop and that jump, that little butterfly that Conor McGregor has. So love it. Guys, GM3's coming on maybe any minute now. Can we talk about Jose Aldo? Do you still want me to save it? Where are you at on that?
There's no way we get to it in 2 minutes, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I get like, give me a little teaser of how you feel about it.
Oh, how I feel about it? It's amazing. Like I was a huge Jose Aldo guy before. Then if everyone remembers, he fought on Game Bred Boxing in Milwaukee versus Jeremy Stevens. And when I tell you he wasn't the absolute nicest guy in that hotel, I'm lying to you. He was amazing. Very politeful, shook hands. And it's like one of those things, Maddie, you know me, like I don't like taking pictures with like the fighters. Like I'm there, I'm working, they're working. It's just one of those things. It was like one of those ones I kind of regret. I'm like, man, I should have got one with Jose Aldo. Like he is a living legend. I think he's amazing. Yeah. And I don't know if you saw the rest of the card for 301. I'm not trying to go there. I'm usually Mr. Positive. They needed Jose Aldo on that card. Like that card that's hurting. That's
Can I give you a hot take?
Ooh, hot. Bring it.
I know it's Jose Aldo. I am not happy he's back.
What? We have a new intern working for us at Fight Bananas. Her name is Naomi. She's amazing. Naomi, cut this up. I want this as a reel. What? You're not happy about this?
Let me explain.
No.
Let me explain. If you retire, stay fucking retired, okay?
It's Jose Aldo.
I don't give a shit. If you he retired 2 years ago, year and a half ago, okay? And how old is this man? Let me look this up here. He's 37. Okay. So he's not like crazy old, but you retired. We gave you a beautiful goodbye. You are in the Hall of Fame.
He did. That is true.
What else do you have to accomplish? The fact that it's in Rio, I'll give him that because that is his dream to fight in Rio. Love that for him. Great. If you retire, stay retired. There's a reason that you retired. It could be your age. It could be, whatever it is. I'm not for him coming back. I said it. Boom. Goodbye.
That is a hot take there, Miss Maddie Levine. It's Jose Aldo. That man can do whatever he wants in my books. I'm happy to see him back. Talking about happy to see someone back on the show. He's in the UFC record books. He has a beautiful mustache to go. He plays the saxophone. He can beat people up for a living. Talking about the GM3, Gerald Meerschaert on the show. GM3, what's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
What's up, man? How are you, dude? A great weekend you just had. Great weekend.
Yeah, really good weekend. No injuries. Still feeling fresh, so I got no complaints.
I have one complaint.
Wow.
One complaint.
What's that?
What is this? What is
That's
the mustache?
beautifulness.
That is peak masculinity is what that is. That's the highest level of testosterone you can have and still pass the USADA test. That's what that is right there.
That's fair. Fair enough.
You, Gerald.
Fair enough, man.
My man, Gerald. My man. Dude, honestly, first of all, congratulations. Unbelievable performance. And it's awesome to see. We've talked multiple times. I remember Maddie and you guys were talking about how, where you want to be at a couple years and all this stuff. You're like a fine wine, my man. Just keep on getting better and better. Like that performance, I didn't see any leaks. It looked flawless. I know it's a dumb question maybe, but how did you feel on the performance? It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, I felt really good. The only thing that happened that I didn't like, there was one point in the first round where he kind of like charged me and it looked like he got a knockdown. And it like the punch landed, but it didn't. It was more that he ran into me and I changed levels. Yeah, and like I knew what it looked like and I was like, well, man, like I can't even do anything about it. Like he just ran me over for a second. Like so right. That was the only thing. But yeah, other than that, I stuck to the game plan. Mentally, I felt great, and you guys saw what happened.
Unbelievable. When you started in the game, and then of course you get into the UFC, and to me, Anderson Silva, absolutely one of the greats, an absolute legend, Mount Rushmore type of fighter. Did you think about one day, it's like, oh, I want to be in the same record books. I saw that on the bottom line. It's ESPN. They go GM3 ties Anderson Silva, most finishes. Like, does that stuff, is it like pinchable stuff? Do you care about stuff of that nature? Where are you at when you see, an unbelievable kind of measurement like you and Anderson Silva are on the same damn line?
It's cool to say out loud, but like for right now, it'll probably be something that I look back on when I'm like done and I retire, and that'll be like a cool thing. Yeah. But for right now, it's it's always about the next fight. Like I'm trying to enjoy it as much as I can, but just the way I fight, it's like all or nothing, right? Like I don't seem to get any close decisions to go my way, so like it's either I'm gonna finish you or you're gonna finish me, and that's just how it ends up going, and that's I am surprised that there aren't guys that have gotten closer before, but I think that's just a testament to, how I've been able to find the finish over the years and how tough guys are, in the middleweight division, where it's like, there's plenty of guys that have double the amount of fights, double about, 20 some fights in the UFC, right, and they still can't get that many finishes. So it's, it's going to be a hard record for anybody to beat, I think.
I agree.
For a guy that's constantly looking forward, have you allowed yourself to enjoy this win? Are you allowing yourself to really process the mature performance, as you said, that you just had?
Yeah, no, I always like to take, a couple days and reflect and like, maybe take a week off of any kind of real hard training and just kind of enjoy it and bask in it a little bit. Because this thing, you prepare so hard for these things, and when stuff doesn't go your way, try not to, but you beat yourself up so much. So you gotta celebrate as hard as you work and as hard as you are on yourself on the losses. So I'm definitely taking time to do that and enjoy the victory, enjoy time with my family and all that fun stuff.
Gerald, one thing you just said before that question was like you kind of have a kill or be killed when you walk into that cage. You know the decisions maybe don't go your way. Honestly, is that kind of your mindset? Like, hey, I'm doing my thing. I'm going forward. I know Barbarina's going to throw some big shots and stuff of that nature, and that is the other side of what the badness that could happen. But of course, if you do your game plan like you did, you look flawless. You get behind him, you get his neck, so on and so on. Is that kind of your mentality walking in? I'm going to be killed or get killed.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, for me, when I go into a fight, I don't ever try to like figure out how to win by decision. You know, I definitely want to put myself in the best spot to win.
Right.
You want to mitigate risk and like, you know, hit them as much as you can and not get hit. But I'm always looking for a way to finish the fight. You know, in my mind, that's the only way you win a fight is to get them out of there. So, you know, that means constantly positioning myself where I can get off clean strikes or getting to a spot on the ground where I can finish somebody. You know, there's never a moment in a fight where I'm not trying to get them out of there.
Love that.
Yeah. I loved the post-fight interview in the ring, in the cage rather. Beer and a nap.
Thank you.
Top tier content.
Yes.
Well played.
Absolutely.
What was the beer and how long was the nap?
Well, we stopped at a Thai restaurant after the fights. So I got a Thai lager, and then I didn't really sleep. It was much more of a nap. A lot of people don't like talk about this, but after you have a fight, especially when you win, you're like wired off adrenaline.
Yeah,
So, you know, you're not really going to sleep that well for the next few days. So I probably got like a 3-hour nap in there before I had to get on my flight.
Yeah, that's about right.
And also, like, you fought in Vegas, and I remember I was at a birthday party, and it was early even for us here on the East Coast. You were fighting like during the afternoon. Am I right on this? Like, it was like 1 or 2 o'clock.
So my report time was 2 p.m. in Vegas. The main card started at 4. I think I walked at like 4:06 or something like that. So I was, you know, probably fighting around 4:30. Yeah.
And you fought on pay-per-views on the East Coast, like at 10:30 sometimes. That's so wild. Like, do you have to actually
I don't mind I don't mind the Apex cards because I have a toddler and I go to bed by 8 p.m. anyway. So that actually kind of works out for me. I didn't just change my sleep schedule or anything. So for me, it was great.
I'm with you.
And like lined up with your life anyway. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
I love that. One thing I definitely want to ask you, and I think you'll love this kind of point or question, if you want to say it's more of a statement, is you're one of the fighters. I messaged you personally, and then the whole MMA community, like when you do good, it's not even people in your camp. It's like people are like, wait, what's this connection with Gerald? Like, there's so many people that respect you, love you, like has so much, you know, admiration for you. How does it feel like to be kind of one of the boys' favorite? It just I saw it from literally 20, 30 guys on the roster. Let's go, GM3. That's what you do. Like people from Florida,
your favorite
Milwaukee,
fighter's favorite fighter. It's
California.
great.
Like, you're one of the boys. Like, they love you, Gerald.
Yeah, no, honestly, it means a lot. MMA is like still kind of a small community. Yeah. And, you know, I've been in the game for a while. I've been cornering guys in the UFC, like, and around the UFC a lot, as well as competing. And, you know, to be connected with not just the media, but like the fighters too, like you said, like I know a lot of those guys, and for them to have my back like that and get the, you know, the respect from your peers is a really big thing. So to see that, like, that always warms my heart. And I really appreciate you guys and everybody else. And like, I'm just really happy to be able to not only get to do what I do, but to be, you know, pretty much like friends with almost everybody is awesome.
Yeah. You're definitely beloved.
Yeah,
for sure. I know kind of Maddie talked about the beer and nap, but did they, you know, with that kind of performance and you know, you look like you weren't even in a fight. I hate to say that. You look amazing. Do you want to flip quickly? Do you want something, you know, springish? Do you want to lay back and whenever they give you a name in the summer, you take something short notice? What's kind of the next 20 days, 14 days for you? Do you get heavy? It's like, screw it, I'm going to eat now. What's the next 2 weeks for you?
This week for sure, I'm gonna, you know, indulge a little bit, but after that, you know, I don't necessarily count calories all the time, but I'll still eat like an adult. You know, I'm not gonna be blowing up too much. I never get too big anyway, and I like to keep it that way. It just makes weight cuts easier, makes my life easier in general. But ideally for me, If I could fight in July or August, that'd be perfect because my little guy's going to be the ring bearer in my sister-in-law's wedding in September. So that'd be perfect to get that out of the way kind of just before that. And then hopefully I'd be able to fight at least one more time before the end of the year. And that's, puts me at least 3 for the end of the year. Yeah.
I got one thing real quick, Maddie. We talked about the beginning of the show. Hey, Gerald, I'm going to be 40 later on this year, so I'm starting to try to eat like an adult. I'm trying to change myself a little bit.
He's starting to be an adult now at 40.
I know. I'm changing. Right. What can I do? So today I made some grilled chicken, and I was like, hey, that's good. All fighters tell me, you guys all tell me, hey, Dave, eat some grilled chicken. I'm like, okay. But what I did on the grill, I put butter, salt, and pepper, and red hot like hot sauce. Is that good or is that bad?
I mean, it's not bad, but it sounds like you need to learn how to use seasonings better. If your go-to is like salt, pepper, and red hot,
exactly what I said.
Look, I get it. I know, like, you're a white guy. It's hard to navigate the spice cabinet sometimes. I can help you with that. I've been there. I had to grow once too. We can get some cumin on there. We can get some paprika. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of different directions we can go. We put some soy and ginger on there, like a barbecue sauce almost, get a little glaze going with some brown sugar. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Hey, after this, DM me a little recipe so I'm not eating like a goddamn toddler. Help me out, Gerald. Help me out. Right?
I got you.
You're past the point of helping, Dave. I don't even know what to do with you. You have a little game for him, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, we're doing Guess the Fighter?
Let's do it.
Okay. Can you do the instructions? You're better at the instructions.
Yeah, let me press the fun button first. Hold on. Okay, my friend, we're going to play Guess the Fighter. You have 10 chances to ask a yes or no question to try and guess which fighter is on Dave's card. It is a UFC fighter. Dave, is it an active fighter? We'll start with that.
Gee whiz. It doesn't have to be.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we're starting off with a doozy, apparently. But you are going to try and use 10 yes or no questions to try and guess the fighter. Go.
Okay. Male or female?
Male. Oh, no. Yes or no? Is he a male?
So
yes.
Is it a male or is it a
yes.
Yeah. Is it a male?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still a yes or no question.
Yes.
All right. Are they a champion?
Yes.
Okay. Heavier weight class. We'll say it, okay.
Yeah.
Heavier weight class.
Yeah.
Have they defended the belt more than once?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he holds the record.
I know if he does. Everybody ends up using the 10, so you might be beating them.
Okay, one more question then. Does he hold the record in for defending the belt in one weight class?
Yes.
Okay. Is it John Jones?
No.
Ah!
No.
Solid guess though. Okay.
I'll give GM 3. I like him a lot. He's a big fan. He's not active.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you skirted around that question saying he doesn't have to be, which is not actually an answer. But thank you for clarifying that now.
Correct. Dave loves to make it difficult.
It's not active, male, and heavier. If he had the record for title defenses.
Oh.
Is he Brazilian?
Yes.
Anderson Silva?
My man, look at that. Come on.
There we go. There we go.
And Anderson Silva, they're on the same playing field.
I think that was a record, though. I think you got it the fastest out of anybody.
That was good. And by the way, people are super into the cumin and paprika. Look at that. We got
I like it. I like it.
Gerald, man, huge fan of you. Like I said, not even in the cage, but out of the cage. I love everything you do. Your socials are amazing. And not that I just know so many fighters in the business, and it's amazing. The outpour of respect and love and admiration that I saw Saturday afternoon was awesome. That's got to be a great feeling. Gerald, nothing but the best, my man. Hopefully we'll talk to you. See you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank
No
you.
problem, brother. Have a good day.
Bye.
There we go. Gerald Meerschaert. Dude, what a good dude, man. I like that guy so much. Like
Great
that
guy, man. Yeah.
Dude,
What a good
Anderson
weekend
Silva.
for him.
Like that. That was good, right?
Not
Did I
many
do all
people
right?
can say that they got a chicken recipe from Gerald Meerschaert. That's kind of a big deal.
Dude, I'm feeling good about today's show. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'm leveling up, you know?
You're just on cloud 9 right now, my friend. Things are good. Things are good.
Things are good. Oh, we got another comment here. Absolutely. Oh, there you go, Dawson.
Love it.
Yeah, dude. GM3. And it's so funny, like I said that I think on Wednesday on Ben Bananas with L. Dawson, I said that about Gerald. Like, he is one way or the other. Like, he's unbeatable. Like, you can just see him in the cage. He just looks like he can beat anyone in that division. And then when it doesn't go his way, it doesn't go his way quickly. Like, there's no middle ground for Gerald. Like, if he's going to win or not pretty damn soon.
Right. I'm looking at his Tapology here. And
it's unreal. Unreal.
Yeah. I mean, the names that he has come up against, and just, it's cool to watch him evolve. Like, we're witnessing, an evolution here.
Yeah. Unreal.
It's really cool. And yeah, he's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter,
People love him. They love him. Okay. Can we
best.
get back to the Jose Aldo thing? Like, or are we moving on off of this? That was a hot take.
It was a hot take. Hold on. My computer's freezing. So pick it up from where we left off.
Okay. Yeah, you're free. Dude, it's not me. It's you. Okay. So you were saying, I get it, that when fighters, when they say they're retired, you want them to stay retired. There's a part of me, Maddie, I get it. I totally understand. But I feel like there's a difference between Conor McGregor staying retired. Like, you could kind of tell he doesn't mean it. Like, there's a lot of those guys. Henry Cejudo, I never felt like he retired, right? I really do think Jose, maybe I'm wrong. My point, my take is I really think he was retired from the UFC. I really do. I don't know what a lot of people have told me they really thought Jamal Hill and Alex was going to be the UFC for 301 in Brazil. If that's the main event, you have Pantoja as the co-main event. Everything kind of slides down. The card is phenomenal. But Izzy and Duplessis didn't work for 300. No, Conor didn't work for 300. I know they wanted Brock Lesnar or Aspinall. Like, a lot of stuff fell through. It just fell through. So they made Alex the main event of 301, the main event for 300. They needed something for this card. I think they called in a favor. They're like, Jose, it's in Rio. Come in, make weight. You'll sell the tickets. Like, he's the house. Like, everyone's going to be there for him. He's the card.
And I think where I'm okay with it is the Rio aspect of it.
Okay.
Like, this is his dream situation. He wants to headline Rio. I get that. But when you have your fan base wishing you well, sending you off into a happy retirement, you were put into the Hall of Fame. Okay. We watched you shed tears as you said goodbye to your UFC career.
Yeah.
Then you're like, hey, just kidding. I'm coming back. It's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Like, what does it mean to retire anymore? And it's like, when he does decide to say, okay, this was my last one, is he going to expect another speech in the cage? Because we've seen, with the return of what's his face recently. Why am I not Jorge? Cejudo, yeah, where, we didn't give him the camera. We didn't allow him to have a say. So many people were upset, but it's like, he already had his moment. He already did that, And so it's like, these fighters expect to just come and go. And granted, Jose Aldo is an absolute legend. I get that. I am not discrediting that. But it's devaluing this idea of retirement is the end. It's devaluing this idea of like, wow, what an amazing career. Let's put a cap on it. Let's put it in the history books. Let's let it go. Let it go.
Let it
Let
go.
it go. Let it go.
Take it anymore. Let it go. The cold never bothered me anyways.
Listen, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
All right. Hey, Maddie, I respect it. I was 100% the other way. I might be 75%. You got me 25%, a little bit on your side. So,
I mean, am I going to watch it and love every second of it? Of course. Of course.
John, hard to say goodbye. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
if you are a fighter or you have a fighter in your life, or if you have a professional athlete in your life,
Yeah.
you know one that doesn't know how to quit.
Yeah.
And it's just ingrained in your DNA. Like
it's like me and Taco Bell, Maddie. I don't know when to quit. I just keep going back.
Yeah, can't quit it.
All right.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
But,
talking about someone who might need to quit and someone we all love. How about Tai Tuivasa taking his 4th L in a row? Is he done?
that one hurt.
Is he done?
Let's start on a high note. Let's start with his walkout song, Natasha Bedingfield.
Should I sing that one?
Dude. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find.
You killed it.
I can keep going.
That
But like, not only did he walk out to that song, that mother knew every single line to the song.
Oh, killing it.
And greased up. He's still singing it. He gets into the cage. He's still singing it. I'm like, this guy, I love it.
And his hair looked fabulous. Am I wrong? His hair looked so good.
Love it.
Yeah, so good. So we want it back. We want it back.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, is he done? Probably.
Oh, shit. So he's gonna fight Francis Ngannou in the PFL? Is that what you're saying?
It's a tough dude. That was a tough loss. He needed that win. He needed that win. You know, he was on such a high, and I feel like this is the problem with a lot of. I feel like this is a heavyweight problem where heavyweights go in, and it's almost a guarantee that someone's going to get knocked out, right? And if you get on this streak of knockouts, are you fine-tuning your skills? Are you putting in the necessary work in other areas of your game that you might need? Or are you just hell-bent on your striking power to save you? Like, I have had conversations with heavyweights where they have said this, where they kind of got blinders on, like horse blinders on, where they're like, oh, my cross is money, my overhand is money, like that's all I need to, work on. But it's like, there's so much more to the game, and it's like, did Tai Tuivasa fall into that category of he just got a little too confident in his power? Did it get to his head? Right. I mean, I don't know.
And it's so wild too, because like he was the main event. Like you can go to the main event of a UFC card to like out. Like it's wild. Like I think the UFC will give him one more like as a prelim fighter, like him versus Andrei Arlovsky, like him versus that type of guy. Like, dude, if you can't win this one, you are out. Like it's almost like winner. Do you know where I'm going with it? Like talking about an I quit match. I want you to take the lead on this.
Yes. Yeah. You're talking about Ian Gary, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Incredible.
Right.
Incredible.
Ian Gary and Colby Covington. Where do I even begin?
I don't even want them to fight, Maddie. I just want them to go against each other and social.
Colby Covington decides to humor Ian Gary by answering Ian Gary's chatter, right? Ian Gary's been very vocal about wanting to fight Colby, whatever. And Colby does what Colby does and sent out the diss track of the century and said a lot of cruel, ridiculous things about Ian, about Ian's wife, and set up a lot of stipulations that, quite frankly, had nothing to do with fighting. Ian Gary decides to respond. This is where I think he fell flat on his face. He decides to counter Colby's suggestions. I'm trying to remember the suggestions. I believe one of them was something to do with Layla. I can't remember. But what I can remember is Ian saying one of us this is the I quit match.
So, in the chat. Who would I ever, dude? I don't know. Yeah, Elle hates them both. Elle despises them both.
They're so hard to like. It's like getting so difficult. But Ian decides to say this is going to be the I quit match. Whoever loses has to quit MMA.
I love that. Oh gosh, I love
it. I think he completely shot himself in the foot with that one. And what a dumbass for trying to play the game that Colby Covington is best at.
Yeah.
You should not be playing fire with somebody like Colby. All you had to do was say something like, hey, man, everything you said had nothing to do with the fight. You clearly are trying to duck me or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to take the fight, let me know and we'll figure it out in the cage. Instead, he plays these stupid fucking games that you're not going to win. And the internet is just roasting him now. Roasting him.
Okay. And Ian, I think I've been a little bit on the more the supported side of Ian Gary.
We both have.
Yeah. Met him, very nice to us, all that stuff. I know he was very nice to you. I know Layla's been nice. Dude, we're like a pro Ian Gary podcast or show, to be brutally honest. Like, I don't think you can't come back from challenging Colby to an I Quit match and he's like, you can look, he's in the camera and I know it's fight stuff and all that stuff. He's serious about it. Dude, if Colby Covington wrestles your ass and wins on a split decision, like,
awkward.
You can't, like, bro, yeah. Are you really never going to fight again? He's undefeated, a superstar like Ian Gary. You'll be back in the spring. Like, but then you will always have that. Like, whoever fights Ian Gary for the rest of your life, be like, oh, I thought you were going to, I quit to Colby. Like, you can't even put that out there. Like, that's.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the rankings right now. And do I think that fight's going to happen? I don't. I really don't. And I don't think Ian thinks the fight's gonna happen, and that's kind of why he's saying what he's saying.
Oh, okay. I respect that then. So
I just
thinks it's not gonna happen, so I can say whatever I want.
I'm gonna say whatever I want, whatever, because it really doesn't benefit the rankings. I mean, it benefits Ian, sure, because then he moves up, but does it benefit the division as a whole? Like, what really happens here? I just don't think it's going to happen, but it was a very dumb decision on Ian's part to even attempt to play that game. And he certainly didn't gain fans by doing that. So I don't know.
You know who's someone that doesn't need help on gaining fans? Someone who's in the UFC record book, someone that had fight news about a UFC fight, someone about fight news about a grappling fight, and an absolute stud inside and outside of the cage. I'm talking about the one and only Gillian, the Savage Robertson.
What is up? I got all the news this week.
I got all the news.
All the news. Gee whiz. Like a birthday. So first and foremost, G, how are you? How are you doing? How you have a tremendous smile on right now?
I'm doing great. 2 black eyes to rock, you know.
I was like, is this eyeshadow or are these black eyes?
No, just getting back into sparring, so we're starting it rough. So yeah, first week back into sparring. Obviously we heard last week, June 1st, got a huge fight news. Michelle Watterson wanted that fight. She's a vet. I think it's a huge opportunity, huge name, and I couldn't be more excited for that.
I'd love to hear your immediate reaction to seeing that this fight was actually happening.
So I actually found out the same day it was announced to the media. I just got a text from Dean and was super excited. And this is literally like dream like match makeup, and then also dream just date too. Like having it, I'm like 11 weeks out now. That's perfect time for me. That's just like ideal time for a camp to get down, and it's not like too long out where I have to sit and like think about this fight the whole time. So everything about it is just ideal for me. So I'm just super hyped for it.
That's crazy.
Someone who you're on the same fight card with, Mr. Grant Dawson, says, hey, quick question for Gillian. What's your favorite color? My guess is green. Come on, Grant.
Good guess. Yeah.
Solid guess.
Grant. Dude, that's Grant Dawson and Gillian the Savage Robertson fighting on the same card. Dude, it's like this is
going to lose our minds. We're just going to lose our minds.
I know. This is like a Dave Heaven fight card. So crazy.
But no, seriously, we are so happy for you, and that's such an exciting fight. I mean, Michelle Watterson, you know, a
huge name
in MMA. Yeah. I mean, what does this fight mean to you? I mean, you kind of touched upon like this is your dream fight. What about it is so exciting for you?
Well, for me, I feel like this is the first like girl in the octagon that I faced that is kind of like that whole like when your idols become your rivals kind of moment. Yeah. You know, like she's definitely someone I watched like as I was growing up in the amateur scene. It's kind of like when I grappled Rose. I haven't gotten that experience in a fight, you know?
Yes.
I'm like, so to see someone that is like, I've watched for years, I've admired for years, and now I get to be able to face her. It's just such a dope opportunity, and just it's awesome to be climbing the ranks too. So I'm just hyped about everything around it.
Talking about another person. So Miss L. Dawson, Grant's husband, goes, I will be there just to see Gillian, not to watch anyone else. There you go. I'm telling you, people love you, G. People love you.
Also on that card, we'll have one of my teammates too, Eileen Perez.
Oh, snap.
Fighting against Jocelyn Edwards. And that's a little bit of a grudge match there. They got
huge grudge match. And that's literally one of my notes on this for you. But before that, do you know where it's at? All the rumors are about Newark and New Jersey and Prudential Center. Is that where it's at? Do you know that or not yet?
That's what my rumors are confirming.
New York? Okay. Oh, I'm there. Let's go.
Gee whiz, Maddie.
Let's go. I'm free. It's 3 hours for me.
Okay. Also, can you give us a little bit, if you have some inside information or if you don't, or any kind of info on the Edwards versus Perez and what happened? You know, it's kind of out there. I guess they kind of got into a little fisticuffs during the week at the Apex. Is that kind of what happened? Why did they get into fisticuffs? What's going on there?
So that week, Eileen was supposed to fight Lucy Pudlava. Well, she did fight Lucy Pudlava.
Right, yeah.
She won that fight. But in previous interviews, they were asking her about Lucy's fight with Jocelyn. And Eileen said in the interview, she's like, oh, Jocelyn was lucky to get that win. She didn't deserve it, things like that, which I don't know if you watched the fight, but it was the card that I was on with Piera Rodriguez. And it was the first fight on the card. And watching it in the back locker room, I literally said to everybody back there, I was like, wow, I better not let it go to the judges.
Right.
Because it was such a bad call. I think it actually, I want to say it was like MMA Junkie or something, shared it as robbery of the year. Wow. You know? So it's like everybody agrees with Eileen on this.
Right.
But
what's MMA Junkie? I've never heard of them.
Oh my God.
Fight Bananas. You know, that's the only news source. But yeah, so Eileen said that on an interview. Right. Then at the PI, Jocelyn trains in Las Vegas. So Jocelyn confronted her at the PI. I guess there was some words there. And then Jocelyn came up in the cage where Eileen was training and punched her in the face and then gave her a black eye the week before her fight.
If I could say something, and I would agree, Jill, you probably back me up 1,000,000%. Like, I understand there's can be some beef and all that shit. That is horrible for Jocelyn to do that. Like, dude, Eileen is supposed to be fighting that week. All the camp, the cutting the weight, all the bullshit. Like I know she has a kid, the time away from her kid, all that. If the doctors say, hey, that eye is cut and we don't want you to fight, like her fight's off. That's pretty shitty by her. I'm not trying to play one side or another. I know she's your friend, a goat and all that, but like that is pretty shitty that you could really stop her from fighting someone else. Like that's messed up.
Not even all the things about camp, but that's her paycheck.
Yeah,
you know? Like you're literally taking away her paycheck if she can't go perform. And it's like, if you watched it when Eileen fought Lucy Pudlava, it was like the first or second strike she took to that eye, it blew up and swole shut. It's like, that's affecting the outcome of the fight potentially. If you can't see out of that eye, it's definitely, definitely a out there move.
Yeah, it feels to me like it was like all of the pent up energy of hearing everybody say you lost, and then it was just like taken out on her, which, you know, it's not fair, but wow, yeah, what a weird moment.
Well, now they'll have the opportunity to solve that on June 1st.
Exactly.
That fight, your fight with Watterson, Gomez, and Grant. Holy crap! And I've been hearing some rumors about a main event too, so I cannot wait. But gee, there's so much I do want to talk to you about. More fight news. There's Cancun. But there's another thing I want to talk to you about that's kind of funny, wraps with you a little bit. But there's something I want to talk to you about me personally. All right. It's all about me, Jill, and you know that. So later on this year, I'm going to be turning 40. And I've been asking everyone on the show today. And I've been getting a lot of not good feedback. Okay. It's not going my way so far.
That's not true.
I've been trying to eat. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. I'm trying to eat better. You know, I'm trying to get on the Gillian Robertson diet a little bit. So instead of eating some bullshit, I made myself grilled chicken today. I'm like, hey, I ask a lot of fighters, like, what do you eat? Everyone tells me grilled chicken. They eat chicken, right? Whatever. But I put butter, salt and pepper, and hot sauce, Red Pete's hot sauce. Is that good or bad? Am I doing all right, or is that shit?
I would say the butter is probably the only part where you're really stepping over the line.
What did I say, Dave?
Okay.
Everything else I don't think is too far out, but yeah, the butter might be a little bit of too much.
So if I take off the butter, I'm doing all right.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I told him it was good-ish.
Ish.
Hey,
Yeah.
You're getting there.
But baby steps.
Thank you, G. Thank you. Another thing we just talked about for 10 minutes before you got on was about Ian Gary and Colby Covington. Have you seen them go back and forth on socials?
I actually haven't seen that.
Ooh, Maddie, you want to take it away?
Dude, consider yourself lucky.
No. The socials have been awesome.
Dude, it is the dumbest shit in the world. I mean, so Colby Covington is being Colby Covington and, basically saying to Ian Gary, like, if you want it, come get it under these stipulations. And he's just like tearing into his wife, tearing into him as a person, like stuff that I literally don't even feel comfortable saying on this podcast. Like, it was that bad. Like, this was like prime Colby Covington. And Ian Gary decided to play fire with fire and basically said, let's do an I quit match. So if we fight, whoever loses has to retire from MMA.
That's awesome.
That's bold.
So bold.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know about that.
It's more bold for Ian than it is for Colby to accept that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because Ian has a huge career in front of him. He's still super young, undefeated. Like, and I said to Maddie, like, dude, tell me there's a world that Colby Covington can wrestle his ass and win a split decision. Like, that can happen.
And it's like, who's to say Colby isn't near that retirement anyway? Like, he's kind of like had 3 title shots already. I don't think he's going to get another one. Like, he probably would be okay with settling with retirement at this point if he did lose versus like Ian, like you said, he has a whole career ahead of him. So very risky move for Ian Gary.
I agree. That's exactly what I said, G. Exactly. Real quick, if that fight did happen, who would you be rooting for? There's like no middle ground. Are you rooting for Colby Covington or Ian Gary?
God.
I don't know if I'd be rooting for anyone.
I know. It's like
not to
win
win less.
Would win.
Yeah.
I think Colby would win that, honestly. I think Colby does. Yeah, I think Colby does win it.
Okay.
But I don't think I'd be rooting for anyone specifically in that fight.
I think it would be one of those, like, I'm just going to watch and, like, have my popcorn ready and just, like, see how this plays out.
Go for a double KO.
Yeah, exactly.
The press tour would be amazing. The press tour would be so good.
Oh, yeah.
Gee, I got so much for you. I'm telling you. It's my paper is filled. So we talked about one fight news. Michelle Watterson, June 1st. We think in the New York, New Jersey area, UFC 302. Cannot wait. Love it. Buy tickets. Go see Gillian. It's going to be worth the price of admission alone. Secondly, I think you're flying somewhere tomorrow, this weekend coming up. Karate Combat Kickback 2, Cancun, Mexico for the Pit Grappling Series. That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
Awesome. Give me go pay the bills along here. Awesome. So you're fighting Montana De La Rosa. Same questions. When did this come to be? How excited are you? Isn't it just awesome just have a trip to Cancun, Mexico in the spring of 2024? Life's good, right?
I think we were talking about it last week on the podcast where I was looking for an opponent. So it's definitely been not in the works long, I guess. We found an opponent last week, finally. I guess with the jiu-jitsu, a lot of times too, I'm not training for it specifically. I'm always training MMA. So it's not like I've necessarily had a fight camp for this or anything. Me and Montana just kind of matched up against each other and are hoping to put on a dope show. I've grappled against Montana a couple times in the Tough House because we were in there together. So we've had a little bit of experience with each other, but that was also like 6-7 years ago now. So we were also both babies back then. So it's definitely an interesting matchup now. I just remember back then her just being so like long and lanky. Yeah. And that was like the issue. If she gave me any issues, it was always like, where did that foot come from? Like legs so long, so lanky. But I'm super excited. Like you said, it's in Cancun. Absolutely insane. With this fight announcement this week, I've kind of just wanted to like focus on that as much as possible. Just like get into my weight cut, get into my camp. So I'm like, I think I'm the only person who's been bitching about how much time I have to spend in Cancun. I'm like, I just want to get home. I want to focus on my fight.
Right.
I'm down to compete Saturday, whatever, but like going out, doing all the media stuff. Yeah. I'm like, I want to be ready for this fight. I want to lose weight. I want to get on point, make sure that everything's ready for Michelle Watterson.
Are you cutting weight for this at all?
I actually don't know the weight that it's at, honestly.
So let's hope you're not.
So yeah, let's hope I'm not. I got the contract yesterday for it. And yesterday was when I found out the match is 12 minutes long. I'm like, for jiu-jitsu, I'm like, that's long.
That's really long. Yeah.
So that was my first. I was like, oh shit, 12 minutes.
So it's just one 12-minute round. That's it.
One 12-minute round.
Yeah. And you try to get a submission. Have you ever walked around the pit yet? I know you went to the last kickback, but have you ever like experienced the pit yet?
I've never been inside the pit. I've been to obviously a bunch of karate combat events, but I've never been inside the pit actually, which I think that's just going to be interesting grappling in there in general. It's not like you have like a wall to push them.
Yeah, it's
like a slanted back.
Craig Jones used that to his benefit when how he submitted Phil Rowe was crazy. He kind of jumped. Yeah, it was wild. So so intrigued. And then it's so funny. Montana is one of those people that, been in the same circle of maybe of a fight or, to about her a little bit. But I saw a great picture of her and we talk about it. Like she's been around forever. Dude, she has like a daughter that's like almost like a woman. She's like a beautiful young woman. I'm like, dude, I always think of Montana like still super young in the game. She has like such a it's wild that she has a beautiful young daughter. Like,
she still is super. She's actually the exact same age as me. So I want to say she had her daughter when she was like 16, 17 years old. So super young when she had her daughter.
Yeah.
I remember her telling a story in the Tough House about how the guy that got her pregnant ended up dating another girl soon after. And she went over in the lunchroom and poured milk on her when she was like pregnant in the lunchroom.
Oh my God. Drama.
Dude, and now she's a UFC fighter. This is where
she's at. But like the whole time in high school, she wrestled too, and now her daughter is actually like, I don't know exactly her accolades now, but I follow a lot of her Instagram, and like she's winning like boys matches wrestling. She's absolutely killing it. It looks like she's probably about the same size as Montana now too. She's like 100% grown up. It's insane to see where she's at now.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, I think, Gillian, you will love to hear this. The fastest growing high school sport right now, according to Yahoo Sports, is women's wrestling.
Oh, wow.
Fastest growing in the U.S. Love that.
With having two girls of my own, I love that. That's the coolest shit ever.
I was going to say, I wonder if that is just because they're probably creating women's wrestling programs now, where it's like there has never been any, which is just awesome in general.
Yeah. Because I know, like, I have friends that did wrestling in high school, but they would have to fight in like men's leagues, fight against men. Well, I mean,
all my friends who wrestled in high school was always going against the boys.
Yeah. So I thought that little tidbit was so cool. I was like, oh, look at us go.
I know, that is awesome.
Two more big things for you. One, I'm going to go with this one first. Did you see an opponent that you fought maybe a year and a half ago? Probably one of the most sick finishes ever in your highlight reel. Maria Gapapova, the choke. Like, I remember you telling the ref she's out, blah, blah. Did you see what she's been going through for the last 36 hours on socials?
I'm apparently out of everything on social.
You're usually pretty good. So Maria wrote, like, she's like, she wants to quit the UFC. She's very unhappy. Mick, you're not getting me a fight. I'm back. Like, she said something about, like, I was supposed to be a big prospect. I know it hasn't went my way, but like, I'm really upset. You're not giving me any fights. Like, I quit. Then I guess this morning she came back out and said, like, hey, I was very emotional. I want to be in the UFC. I love the UFC. I don't want to quit, all that stuff. And she's like kind of really pulling it back. I would assume a manager, a teammate, a friend, someone said like, hey, dude, like, you do not want to do that. You know what I mean? And someone who fought Maria. And then I remember you used to tell me that you guys trained together at American Top Team for a little bit of time. Like, it's wild. Like, no one, I know sometimes you talk to me a little tad about it off the air. Like, it sucks sometimes, like when you do want to fight and you don't get a fight. It's like, there's nothing more agonizing, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No, it's definitely agonizing, but it's like, I don't know. You also have like you said that she said that you have to look at the work that you've done. You got to have to kind of realize like,
I'm trying so hard to ignore her. It's just not happening.
Head movement, Maddie. Head movement.
She's bad at the shit.
Look at that
Apparently,
hook.
I have to go to war with my fucking cat right now.
Dude, that's a Jose Aldo hook.
Dude, what the fuck is happening right now?
Like, what was I even saying?
Oh,
Anyway, what were we talking about? Because I just got knocked out by a fucking cat. Okay.
Agapapova. Like, I can't steal this show.
Go, continue.
So just like, so are you kind of saying like, hey, dude, if you got a couple L's, they might skip you in the rotation every once in a while, like that? It happens.
No, I think you have like, you got to kind of look at yourself in some of these situations. It's
Right.
like the UFC, like if you expect to be like some big prospect, you got to show them that you're some big prospect.
Right.
You got to show them that you can market yourself. You got to show them that you can fight. You got to show them everything that it takes to be that superstar, and they're going to back you and they're going to give you the opportunities to do so. But if you don't show them a product to invest in, they're not going to invest in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Such a good
That's
point.
tough because I don't know. I would assume, G, you heard the same things. Maybe even at the gym, like I remember like 2-3 years ago, like she was like the hot prospect in the female division. Like, dude, you watch out for her. I remember that one fight card. She was like the biggest favorite on the card. She had an awesome first round, but lost the second round to not a great fighter. Can't remember her name.
Shauna Dobson.
There you go, Shauna Dobson. Damn, Gillian had that shit on lock. She
Guys,
pulled
my
that one out.
cat straight up drew blood, so like look at my face right now.
Dude,
What is happening?
what a mean cat, Maddie.
Dude, give me 5. I'll be right back.
Yeah. I got you.
We just go clean my wound.
Dude, Jose Aldo, you. All right, I'm gonna remove Maddie. All right, G. All right. So that I just saw that was really interesting because, like, you know, with me being on the socials and being taking fights like that, like last night and then yesterday was like, whoa, Maria, like that's tough. All right, another fighter that you have fought with a big main event this weekend, Thug Rose Namajunas. So funny every time we talk or post about you have a fight coming up, like that grapple and match, you against Rose, like you got so much good pub from it. Like they're like, whoa, like Gillian just literally ran through a world champion. I remember even Rose was the bet-in favor that night. So that was just one of your maybe highlights of your, professional career in a weird sense. She's the main event this weekend. Amanda Ribas, who kind of has her up and downs as well. What do you think of a big main event fight, Ribas versus Namajunas?
I've actually gotten a little bit of experience training with Ribas too at American Top Team in the past.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we trained together a handful of times. But I do really like Rose. I like Rose for a lot of matchups, but I really like Rose for this matchup. I think the way that she uses her footwork and the way she strikes is hard for a lot of girls to handle. And I think it's almost too big of a test for Ribas right now.
Too much of a jump up. It's like, I agree. There's people don't understand when the fighters do that. Like they think they belong in the top 5. It's like, whoa, like you need to get 12 and then 8. And that's one thing I love even about this matchup against you and Michelle. I think she's one spot higher than you in the rankings. I know she's definitely more of a vet. She's ahead of you, which is great. That's like the ascension you want. Like someone you're 15, right? 15 or 14?
I'm 15. She's, I think, 14 or 13.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like, you want the UFC to like, okay, all right, boom, you win. Now you're 13-12. You want to fight 9, and then you want to fight 5 or 6, and then you want to fight 4 or 3. Like that's the assumption. You don't want to go sometimes 15-3. Like that's a big jump. Hard to win those fights. Big stop. Oh, there's Maddie. Let's see if she's back. You back?
Hey.
You recovered?
I'm good.
All right.
That was the weirdest shit ever. My God. My animals are not allowed in the room anymore.
I'm a dog person anyways. You know that. Like it's
wild. Wild. Anyway, I heard what you guys were talking about a little bit. So
cool.
Yeah. I mean, I like the matchup, but Gillian, I agree with what you were just saying for sure.
Yeah, I think I like Rose a lot, and it's sad. It's one of those things because I think she has 2 L's in a row. Of course, the championship fight against Carla, which is just one of the most wonkiest fights ever in the history. And then she just lost to Macy Chesney in her last fight. So like this is a big fight because if she loses this fight, like like are we going into that? Hey, you got one more kind of chance thing? That's crazy because I wrote down the notes. You were gonna say, G?
Well, I was gonna say, is this fight at 125 or at 15?
25.
25. That's what I thought.
Yeah, she's staying there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, like, it's a big fight. It really.
Yeah. So has Rose done 25 before?
She fought Manon Farad at 125, her last fight, and that was
Farad. That's what I meant. Not Macy. Macy just won this past weekend. My bad. My bad. I bet. Yeah. Macy's big. She's 135, right?
Yeah, Macy's a 35er.
Yeah. My fault.
Just a speculation. I don't know if this is true or not. Like, this is just me, like, noticing things. A lot of girls who were 145ers in the UFC are now competing at 35.
Oh, of course.
I'm like, are they just, like, making those girls come down or, like, cutting them? Or, like, what's happening with that?
So that's a great point, actually. So Kayla Harrison was recently on Ariel Helwani, and he had asked her, like, hey, like, was 145 even an option for you? And she was like, no, that wasn't even on the table. So I'm curious if they're getting rid of that division, because I'm trying to think now. Let me look at the rankings here.
No, 100%. You ready? So it's so funny. I have a great tweet. I was going to save it for me and you, Maddie, later, but I'll do it with G. So there's literally no more female featherweights. I mean, featherweights. They're gone. So this is a good question for both of you. How many fighters are under the UFC roster? If you had to guess.
Oh God.
Rough guess. Have fun guess.
I'm terrible with numbers. Oh my God.
I'll say 1,500.
1,500. Okay.
Oh my God. I was gonna say like 300.
Would I be right?
500.
500. Okay. 682 are on the roster.
Okay.
On the female side, strawweight 48, the most in any weight class. Flyweight 44, bantamweight 35. That's it. No featherweights are literally on the roster. You have to be a bantamweight or you're off. Men, flyweight 46, bantamweight 86, featherweight 83. The most is the lightweight men, 103 fighters on the roster of lightweight. Welterweight 86, middleweight 68, light heavy 40, heavyweight 40. Isn't that crazy?
That is pretty crazy.
I guess I could assume that with lightweight being the biggest, just because like most men are typically that size. You like just typically.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be bantamweight. I feel like that
bantamweight's just stacked. I feel like talent wise, but I feel like typically like talking about a general man like their size, I feel like 55 is like gonna be like generally where you're looking at.
That's why I'm eating grilled chicken. Okay, I'm eating grilled chicken.
Well, they're not 55 either. They're probably walking around like 170.
Right. Right. Dave's ready to make his bantamweight debut this year. That's what he wants to do.
I had a good picture. I think someone put it up on socials, like my high school picture. Like it was one of those ones. I had a good tan. I had like the 8-pack. It was a good Instagram.
Why do I feel like you were the dude in high school with like the puka shells and like the Abercrombie polo, maybe?
I did have Abercrombie polo. I'm definitely that guy. No puka shells. I had blonde hair in high school.
Wow.
Like yours, Maddie.
What a lady killer.
I did okay.
Oh God.
I did all right. All right. Back to you guys. Jeez, it's not about me. It's about you guys. All right. But yeah, I thought when I saw that stat, I thought that was crazy that there's the most females are strawweight. So that's pretty wild. Too.
Yeah.
So, nuts. All right. So we did Cancun, Gapapova. So you have Rose beating Ribas.
Yeah, definitely.
Rose beating Ribas. Yeah, I think we did it. Michelle Watterson, June 1st, Newark. No, I think it's at the Prudential Center. That's what I've been hearing. Main event, Bilal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards, maybe?
I don't know that yet. So I'm like,
is Bilal finally going to get his chance? Is this his moment?
I think so. Crazy. All right. I think we did it. That was nuts. Get packing. I know you're going to Cancun and
have you even packed yet?
What do you think? Come on. Of course not.
Dude, all you have to pack is bathing suits, a pen, and one grappling uniform.
Yeah, rash guard, and we'll be good.
You're good. Jeez, have a backpack.
I don't know if you pointed out already, but loving your shirt, Dave.
Oh, thank you, friend.
Kayla Rocco, that K-Rock.
Love it.
Thank you, G. Maddie didn't say anything good about this shirt at all. Nothing. It's my co-host.
Whatever. You've got enough compliments in a day.
All right, G, you're the best. Enjoy yourself. Hey, we like Montana. She's very, very nice woman, but please, get the neck. let's go. Let's get out of it.
You do. Cuddle the shit out of her.
Hey, go to Gillian-Robertson.com. Buy some merch. Like, what are we doing? Like Saturday, we're talking about. Are we buying the booty shorts, girls? Come on. What are we doing?
Gotta get it in time for the fight.
There we go. All right, guys. The Savage, Gillian Robertson. Watch her Saturday night. It's on YouTube, and it's also on UFC Fight Pass. Congratulations to that. And we'll talk to you, if not next week, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
I'll see you.
Later, G. Dude, what a show. What a show. Like, we are rolling. We have Impa Kasanganay coming in 4 minutes. But, dude, are you okay, dude? Like,
fuck was that? My cat just had a fucking conniption.
That was really mean. I was angry for you.
That cat, her name is Marley. She's the sweetest cat. So that was really weird. Really weird. She was like pawing at me.
Yeah, the first thing was okay. And then she came with a hook.
Bro. She's gonna be in timeout later. She's
Good.
My face is like, I put makeup on. My face is like all cut up. I'm like, what?
I'm not happy about this.
I'm not happy either. But anyway, I'm excited for Gillian. It was a big headline week for Gillian. Lot of headlines with her name in it. So love to see it. Love to support it. So
it's crazy. So I was gonna say, so Tuesday, somehow I broke the Grant Dawson fight news. Maybe that flew. And then Wednesday was Marvin Vittori being out, broke that news. That was everywhere. And then Thursday, Gillian, not Gillian, a source told me about Gillian's fight. Not Gillian, wasn't her. So I was about to break that news, but she's like, hey, wait, you have to go through sometimes the proper channels. And then even the news got broke. Big Marcel, who's on Twitter, like world famous Big Marcel, that news broke of Gillian. He even messaged. She's like, dude, you didn't break the Gillian news? I go, my source told me not to break it yet because it was like still brand new. Yeah. It was like the first fight in 4 fights of Gillian that I didn't break. Crazy.
Not cool.
My source.
Yeah. Gotta love being a source, an MMA source though. And if
I actually don't like it. Do not like it. Sean, shout out to you, my man. Chris Curtis gets a big time opportunity. Chris Curtis, Brendan Allen, April 6th main event. I agree. Let's go. Credit to Maddie. That comeback was like a Brad Tate cut, man. Between well played, Dawson.
I know my way around concealer and foundation. So here you go. That is the result.
I can't even see it. Amazing work by you. Amazing.
I'll have to show you what it looks like later. But yeah, big moment for Chris Curtis and Brendan Allen. This is going to be a good fight. Chris Curtis is actually in the New England area a lot. I see him a lot in corners at Cage Titans.
Yeah.
I've seen him at those fights a couple of times. Really cool guy. Really chill. I'm excited for him. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll see.
Let's see here.
I literally have a headache from that. Excited to talk to Impa though. No stranger to the Fight Bananas page, and he's always doing big things. I think we love Impa and we love who he fought last. Why am I blanking?
Donnie Eblin.
Thank you. We're big fans of both fighters. But I think a little piece of us was hoping that Impa would pull that off. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but we're moving forward. I'm excited to hear about what Impa's future holds and what he's doing next. That man just seems to not care about weight classes. He's ready to fight in any division at all times.
I love that. He's one of those fighters too that everyone respects, loves. The man just fights, doesn't matter. Like he literally, I think the week of him versus Johnny, like there was scatter that if he won that fight, he was literally going to challenge Francis Ngannou. Like literally, like not even like joking.
He's already called him before.
Yeah.
So like, who does that? Who does that?
Impa Kasanganay does that.
Yeah, for real.
Real quick, I think he's going to come on any minute now. There's another little thing. I was going to maybe save it for after Impa, but probably after Impa, we're going to run. The Apex. I know we've talked about it numerous of times, the Apex. And I'm going to go, hear me out, Maddie. I agree with you. I wish they were in Austin, Texas, Jacksonville, Florida, Sacramento, California, hit some other cities, Greenboro, North Carolina, hit some other cities. But I will say this, like I was seeing so many people complain, like, guys, it's still fights. It's still UFC fights. Like, I want to like reach out to these people, like, hey, wait, are you complaining? Like, don't watch. Like, just wait for the pay-per-views. Like, I get it. I wish it was in a packed arena. Orlando, bring them here. We would love it. Absolutely love it. Sell out. It would be a better show. But we are still getting fights. It's free too. It's on ESPN Plus.
Like for a fan that's watching, who gives a fuck? Like, and it's free. You get it on ESPN Plus. You get the same high quality fights. Why do you care? If I'm a fighter, that's a different story. If I'm a fighter, I want to be fighting at a venue with a big crowd, sold out crowd. Like, for me, I think that's what I would prefer if I'm on the UFC roster. But as a fan, sit down.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Like, it was wild. Like, I just saw a ton of people complaining about it. I'm like, guys, it's Saturday afternoon. Like I said, I was at a birthday party. My son went to a birthday party. It was a foam party, by the way. Amazing birthday party. Oh,
so fun.
So fun. Like, they were in I'm not lying. They were in a foam. It was like on a lake, in a foam, in a backyard. They're playing in the foam. I had a cold Bud Light watching fights on my phone like this.
Yeah, the best. Listen, so perfect. I'm so glad you brought this up because over the weekend, St. Patty's Day Parade was going on in Boston.
Wow.
St. Patty's Day Parade going on everywhere. And here I am in my house, on my couch, in my pajamas, with my mocktail because I don't want a hangover the next day, watching fights. And I'm thinking to myself, wow. I'm like, 10 years ago, I would have been shit-faced in Southie, loving St. Patrick's Day, and here I am enjoying a nice little mocktail and UFC fights. Life's good. It's so good. So funny.
I had a really good breakfast date this morning with a buddy. I think you can call it not a date, but it was a bros time.
A bro date. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. And I told him, I'm like, dude, it's so funny with you get older, you get through different times. I told you I'm with the coach and my girls playing t-ball, best times. Last night I put in one of my daughters to bed, Taylor, and I'm laying down with her, and like we're like laying down. She's like really cuddled up like in my shoulder, and I think she's about to fall asleep. And she like I can feel her head getting up, and I'm almost about to like, hey, put your head back down, right? She goes, Daddy, I'm so happy you're my daddy, and kissed me on the cheek.
Dead. Ugh.
The greatest thing ever. Am I right?
Heart on the floor.
I know. I'm the luckiest man alive. I'm blessed. Absolutely blessed. Talking about another man who's blessed. I believe he's a millionaire. I believe he's one of the toughest men on this planet. He fights anyone at 55, 70, 85. He'll fight Francis Ngannou tomorrow. Talking about the one and only Impa Kasanganay. Oh, I didn't push the button. My fault. There we go, Impa.
There you go.
My man.
How you doing?
Doing good, Impa. How are you doing, bro?
St. Patty's Day Arena. I love it.
I went to the Guinness factory last year, so I had to, keep the spirit alive. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. I am unbelievable blessed. I just told a great story about my daughter giving me my 4-year-old daughter last night kissed me on the cheek and said, I'm so happy you're my daddy. I'm like, dude, Impa, I'm living the dream.
Right. It means you're doing it right. You're doing it right. I love that.
Man,
I appreciate that. That's cute. Oh man, I like that. That's how you start an interview right there.
Hell yeah.
That's how you started. I appreciate that.
The wholesome content we're here for.
I know.
That's what I love.
Dude, but how's everything in your own? Impa? I know you're out there in Saudi Arabia a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I know it didn't go exactly how you wanted. People in the comments were just chatting. You had the best fight. Like it was the closest fight of the night, kind of a big fight against Johnny Eblen. I know it didn't go your way, but how are you physically, mentally since that fight?
I'm great, man. God is good. I'm, focused on the season fight coming up. Training, got out of sparring, head back to the gym after this, and working. I'm me. I'm always solid. I've had crazy moments in my career, I guess you could say, and I've had the questionable ones too. I'm always kind of moving forward, moving forward in my life. And I'm been happy. I got this pretty cool, you can't really tell what it is right now, but it's an inflatable kayak. So, be getting out in the water.
Let's
I love that.
You know,
In
so
South Florida?
South Florida, yep.
Oh, man.
The Hillsborough Canal and the river or whatever it turns
Yeah,
into.
yeah, yeah.
Runs right through my backyard. So I'm excited about that, and yeah, I'm happy. So I've been gardening. I've been working on motorcycle trips. I'm planning to do like a motorcycle and overlanding trip after my next fight across the United States. So I'm enjoying life. You know, like I love fighting. I love what I can do. God is good, and I'm I'm blessed. Like we're just, I'm blessed. So
What kind
I'm
of
good.
motorcycle do you ride?
I have. I'll show it to you. Getting
Ooh.
the whole tour today.
I was gonna say, like, tell me it's in your kitchen, like Sean Strickland or something.
Impa ready to repeat. We agree, Sean. We agree. Multi-millionaire Impa Kasanganay.
I received that. Hold up. There we go. It's a Triumph Scrambler.
Oh,
Oh. So
dude,
that's a really nice bike. So
that
true
is
story,
nice.
I've always loved motorcycles and
Yeah.
motocross. I think it's fascinating and I think it's so fun. My husband straight up told me that he would divorce me if I ever got a bike.
No.
Ross!
I know. He's like, they're way too dangerous. He was like, I emotionally would not be able to handle it. Just don't do it.
Wow.
I know.
Basically, so he just loves you so much he doesn't want you in danger.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
Ross
so
is cool.
tell me how awesome it is to ride a motorcycle though,
It's
because
the best thing in the world. I'll basically I could be 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm at night and I'm sleeping. I wake up. I'm gonna go for a ride just because like it's whatever. Like before fights, after fights. I mean, after my last fight, or no, sorry, not this one, but the one in D.C. I did a trip from D.C. to like Lovettsville, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Beach, all the way to the mountains of Carolinas, into the
Incredible.
Great Smoky Mountains to Chattanooga, Tennessee, to Atlanta, Georgia, to Roswell, and then
wow.
Florida Island. And yeah, Triumph has been really cool. Like they've partnered with me, collaborated with me on different projects now. I'm going to do the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. It brings awareness to men's mental health and the prostate cancer and all that stuff. So like to help do that. So a bunch of people like dress up and get really like classic old school gentleman look, but you ride the bikes. And this bike was actually just finished, like chrome, right? Then I blacked it out, and we're gonna paint the tank black. My friend Jesse, who I did actually an internship on working on bikes for a little bit in Boynton Beach, just did the work on the bike for me and these projects I'm working on with Chilobos Trek. So if you want to see my life outside of fighting and all the adventures and encouraging people to commit to adventure, you'll see this bike a lot, like a lot of videos featured. So
Well,
yeah,
such
I
a
mean,
well-rounded man, Impa.
I love it.
appreciate you.
I love it.
Thank you.
The going through the mountains, did you go? I think it's like Appalachian State Park or the state park. Was it one of those trips? Smoky Mountain
No,
Trails?
yeah. So I went to the Great Smoky Mountain. I didn't go to Appalachian. So I went to my uncle went to school actually near there at the University of Appalachian State University,
Yeah,
and
I know exactly where that's at.
yeah, that's in Boone. I was on the other side, so I was riding through like near Tennessee border and all
Yeah,
that stuff. So it was really cool. It's really beautiful, like Asheville, North Carolina, near the Western
beautiful.
Carolina region. Yeah.
I've been to Boone, North Carolina 40 times in my life. It's one of the
Really?
spots we go to as a family. We
Oh, that's
love it.
cool.
We get away. We love going away. During like July 4th weekend, we love going up there to Boone because it's beautiful. Everything
Aw.
is green. And then we go during the fall. We love to go during Christmas time.
Mhm.
It's all, all woods and then snow. I love Boone, North Carolina. One of the most beautiful places on the earth. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's cool. Nobody ever really knows Boone that I've ever heard like say that. So that makes me happy when I hear people from North Carolina pretty well. So much stuff on it.
Well, let's get back to the fight world, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about fights. Now, I love, Impa, how you just could not care less about weight classes. It seems like you are ready to go in there at any weight. But if you were to choose the ideal situation, I mean, what division is ideal for you, or what do you hope to do next? Honestly.
Oh shoot, man. Well, so focus next, right? Is like this fight April 12th. I say one fight at a time, and go get this second 205 title. The $1 million is cool, right? I mean, that's all great. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I deal weight classes. I just want the best fights. Really, I don't care who it is. Like it's like, I mean, I probably, I would say if I could find a way to get to 55, there'd be some dream fights like in those weight classes because some guys are just so good. You want to fight them out of respect, even if I like them, But
Yeah.
my body, I'm probably not getting my body down to 55.
Yeah, that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah. But I mean, there's fights you're like, man, if the weight classes didn't exist and men just wanted to fight, there'd be a few fighters out there be like, that'd be pretty cool. I like 205. I mean, it's fun. It's not really a weight cut. 85 is fun. There's so many good fighters there. Of course, Johnny, to the Adesanya's of the world, Sean Strickland's of the world, Duplessis right now on the other side. You have trying to think of. There's been a lot of great fighters in history. I mean, Anderson, like all the great fighters. So it's like it's just cool. It's cool to be a part of. Gosh, that's a challenging question. I think 205 at light heavyweight right now in PFL is currently the most rich division of 205 in the world. You have Sodabu in there.
Yeah.
You have
Phil Davis.
Yep. Phil Davis, Rob Wilkinson, Shoeface is back. Josh is back in there, Josh Silveira.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out all the other fighters, but you have multiple champions in one division that could all cross paths a certain way. And I don't think you always see that, right? Regardless of the weight class, people still rose up into so I'm working on that. I saw a comment, I think somebody said moving back up. Yeah, for me it was just that fight was at 85. This next one's at 205. Made the next one at 265 for all I care. I do want that Francis fight one day, so it's like how do I make it happen? Like, it's like, so maybe I go up to heavyweight next year. I don't know. I'm taking it day by day, trusting God. But that's like, I don't know, to circle back. I mean, 205 is where I got my first title. So it's like, I'm grateful and I love it. And I get to stay caught up in the money of things. And fighters should be paid more. There should be unions. There should be health insurance. There should be all these different things that just, right? A bigger share of the percentage. There should be all these things. But what it should be is also my job. So it's like, I'm grateful. Like you might meet a nurse or somebody who works 15, 16 hours a day, 20 hours a day, like my mom, and what you can make in a night as a fighter is what they make an entire year. Now, yes, do you train every day? Yes, but you're doing something that's really enjoyable. You're not telling somebody that their family member passed away or their kids are not going to live this long. Like you talk about your 4-year-old daughter, and she tells you how much she loves you, and then somebody else then there's a nurse or a doctor delivering terrible news about somebody's 4-year-old daughter, and I'm doing something that in ways you can earn more than what somebody ever did tonight. Now, does it take away the fact that you shouldn't be paid more? No, but it also puts things into perspective that I'm grateful and I get to do what I love. Everybody always asks me, do you want to go back to the UFC? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? My grass is green where I'm at, and God's blessing it. So why do I need to stress about what coulda, shoulda, this needs to be? So I really like 205. And it's fun. And I mean, there's always a fight to be had.
My question, I almost know how you're going to answer it or what the answer is, but I just think I got you right. The year goes the way you want to, 205, win, another $1 million. Everything that the PFLs told me, I asked them at that media press conference when I was there in South Florida early this year, Impa, and I've actually talked to someone outside of it, kind of behind the scenes. They said 100% next year, 2025, earlier, they're going to go back to Saudi Arabia. They're going to do another one of these kind of like championship type. It's like the Super Bowl. Like every year they're going to do it. I would assume if you win 205, probably next, I would assume, is probably going to be a Johnny Evelyn rematch. Is that something you even peeked about or even thought about 1% or not at all, Dave? You're crazy. One fight. I'm fighting April 12th in Las Vegas, and that's all I'm thinking about.
Well, you know me. So yeah, no, definitely. That's the fight I want. I expect Johnny talked about a rematch too as a man, so I respect that.
Yeah.
For sure. So yeah, this year I'm gonna claim his title, get this 205 title, and how I look at it too is like on the rematch, I want one more fight. I want 2 more fights with Johnny. There's no need to sit there with a tiebreaker. I don't see why.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go claim that next victory. I know everybody. There's always the debate. Impa won this one. The judges have the judges' decision. The world has theirs, and then there's always something between it. We can go through all that stuff, but what it says on paper is. That's
a good question. Phil Dean goes, Impa, do you think over 5 rounds the fight with Johnny would be different?
I think I would have more time just to make an adjustment there, right? If I fought stupid and I didn't, and I made the same errors, and then Johnny capitalized them, he might have got the split decision. But for me, it's like I look at it like if I had 5 rounds and I kept putting more damage like I was, which I did, then I believe I would have definitely had the clear decision. On the post fight, whether they said like the last fight, people saying I won, people said I lost, all these different things. I look at it like this, like I still wouldn't have been happy with the overall fight as a whole because I know I could fight better than I did. So for me, it's just like I want that fight. I want it 2 more times, and next one I'll claim victory. I won't miss, and then let's go do it again. It's like people will say they want to make this a sport. I don't believe fighting's a sport, but if a tiebreaker can exist, let's go do it then. Like I'm not one of those people who's going to say, yeah, you beat up the guy, then it's all said and done, great. But hey, man, make great money, make an opportunity, but also do something wonderful. And I like the idea of like a fight at 85 because it's like you get that. How many people ever get an opportunity to become a 2-weight class world champion? It can show the growth. It can show what my training partners and trainers and coaches and everybody's helped me to get to. And I get a fight in a great moment. Man, Riyadh's cool. Riyadh is awesome. I mean, I wish everybody could go out there and see that. I can experience those moments with the people that mean so much to me. And when that day comes, man, it'll be a great story. It'll be like, the song "Ali in the Jungle," right? Or like when all that stuff. It's just like that's your moment. And I started training when I was 24. I turned 30 this year. I've been talking to you since golly.
The beginning.
What is it? The beginning, y'all. So it's like,
yeah.
I look at it like, look where we are now.
2-0 pro.
2-0 pro, right. Yeah, right off that doggone, what's it called? The
Go for it. Fight for it.
Fight Island.
No, it was Island Fights.
Island Fights.
I even talked to you before that. It was like, remember? I think it was you versus AJ Chambers. No, gone for it. Fight for it.
I didn't fight AJ Chambers. I fought Garrett Fosdick on the 864 championship. That's what it was.
864. Yeah. I talked to you after that one, and then you fought at Island Fights in Destin, Florida.
Destin, there you go.
And then Challenger Series, and you've been on track to win $1 million. Unbelievable. Maddie, if you have one last thing, I got that 5-question fun thing I want to do with Impa. You have anything else for Impa, Maddie?
No, I just wanted to figure out what weight class this man is getting into, but it sounds like he's ready to do all of them. So I'm
205 this year. He's going to try to go back to back. And then I saw someone says, Sean, why? Because Bellator doesn't have PFL doesn't have a 185, so that's why Johnny and Impa is kind of matched for later on. Phil goes, Impa, you are the man. Thanks for answer, bro. Good luck to the new season. There we go. All right.
Thank you.
Five questions, not UFC or MMA or Bellator, PFL related, just 5 questions for people to know you a little bit better. You ready?
All right, rapid fire. I got you.
All right, rapid fire. Kanye West or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Let's go.
Your first job you ever had?
First job I ever had, Harris Teeter grocery store, Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Arboretum. Love y'all.
There we go. What's your all-time favorite movie?
Miracle. About the Olympic team, hockey team. Yep.
The hockey team, right? Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a favorite movie.
In 2025, where will you be?
2025, I'll be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, finish on my hands raised, and man, thanking God, but I'll just be in a better place than I am today.
I love that. Last one. Who is your hero?
My parents.
Love it.
My parents.
That was the correct answer. There we go. Guys, the one and only Impa Kasanganay, PFL champion 205, back fighting April 12th, Las Vegas. Phil, I'm going to butcher his last name. I apologize. Pelosi, I believe, is his last name.
Yeah, Alex Pelosi. Alex
Pelosi.
Alex Pelosi, yeah.
We've been on live for 2 hours. Maddie got hit by a cat. I ate some grilled chicken earlier today. I'm sorry, Impa. We're off.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, it's crazy how long I've been talking. So I'm looking forward to like now and then the next.
Yes, sir.
I want to fight 17 more years. So we have a lot of conversations to have.
Well, I would be honored to talk to you every single year of that time. Hey, we got call me after the show or later on tomorrow. We got to talk about Boone, North Carolina. I got some good food spots in Boone. North Carolina. People, if you've never been there, go there. It's beautiful in Boone.
Yes, I agree. I co-sign on that, please. I'll give you a call.
My man, Impa, have a great day, brother. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it here.
Thanks, Impa.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Bye, y'all.
There we go. Impa Kasanganay. There we go. Maddie, Levine, Dave, and Auken. We absolutely did it. We've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. 4 guests: Chris Mixan, GM3, Gerald Meerschaert, Gillian the Savage Robertson, and Impa Kasanganay. Maddie, you doing all right?
And Marley the cat.
I know, dude. If I see Marley face to face.
Oh my God! How dare you?
All right.
No, but I might need some stitches. I don't know. We'll see. But no, I'm good. I'm good. But as always, thank you for everybody for joining us yet again. Tuesdays are our favorite day of the week because we get to hang out with you, our MMA fans, our fight fans. Fight Bananas is where it's at. Dave, love you, buddy.
Sounds good. We have one more. GM3 with a nice win. He did have a nice win, Sean. Go watch it back. Hey, go subscribe to the brand new YouTube channel. We've had a really good uptick in the last 30 days. Go subscribe to it, please. Marley about to give Dave the posture. No. Look at this head movement.
Did you see how fast she was? She was crazy.
She was fast. All right, we're out of here, guys. Thank you so much. No Ben and Bananas tomorrow night. El Dawson and myself are off. We're taking the night off. We're back Tuesday live here at 1 p.m. We already have multiple guests lined up. We'll see everyone next Tuesday. Thank you, David.